district hasn't shared any information with me or my clients regarding their hiring process, their retention process, their disciplinary process, or supervision process over bus drivers specifically.
He says the harm is done, and it's now on the district to provide the necessary care for his clients.
I'm Tyler Bailey. I'm the founder and managing attorney of Bailey Law Firm here in Columbia, South Carolina. We represent people in areas of personal injury, criminal defense, workers' compensation, and civil litigation all throughout the state. And I started Bailey Law Firm back in 2014, right out of law school. I was 25 years old, and I knew that God was calling me to that area. I wanted to become a lawyer because I always wanted to be a business owner, but I had a professor in undergrad who talked about the good that I could do helping people by being a lawyer. And so not only would I get the business aspect of it, but I could also use my skills to serve people and help people. And so that's why I started Bailey Law Firm. When I first started to practice, I'm 25 years old. I never worked for another law firm as a lawyer, and I had no track record. The biggest challenge I had when I first started really was in my own head, and not letting my head get in the way of my faith and the call I had to that area of law. And so that was the first initial big challenge I had. I had to not only convince myself, I had to, when others started to sow seeds of doubt, I had to quickly counter those with words of faith, because I was always constantly trying to keep myself encouraged. So if I couldn't encourage myself, how could I encourage anybody else to trust me? I got that out the way, and thank God that I was able to prosper even my first year of practice. There was times where it looked like money may have not been coming in for a long time, but God never let me fall throughout my entire practice. I haven't failed yet, and for being in business for about 5 years now, I've gotten used to the uncertainty sometimes and not seeing how things are going to come together, whether that's with a difficult case or something financially. But I can tell you, and I'm blessed to say that God has never let me down at all on this journey so far. Just to give a couple of examples of how I believe I've been blessed in my practice so far, just starting from the beginning into kind of where I am now. Most of my work is really representing people where they don't have to pay me anything up front. The only way they get paid if I'm able to successfully get them a settlement or verdict. And so when I first started to practice, I was taking on personal injury cases and other civil cases where I was helping people. They weren't required to pay me. And so I had to trust and believe God that those cases were going to turn around. I remember one time early on that I was feeling so down and I was worried financially because I've been in practice for some months and not a dime came in. And I feel like once I was at my really lowest point, I remember breaking down and almost shedding a few tears. Like, God, you called me to this area. Where's the fruit? Bills are coming in, I'm using my credit card, where's the money? And literally that day, I came into a lump sum of money from a client, unexpectedly calling my office and paying. And I think that was really important in my faith journey as the managing attorney and founder of Bailey Law Firm, and the understanding that even sometimes when it doesn't look like the provision may not be there, that ultimately I'm doing God's work. I'm taking care of people, and He's going to take care of me. This entire year has been a journey of faith as well. The pandemic really hit February, late February, early March. All businesses in the legal field was affected just like everybody else. Courthouses were shut down. I know lawyers who preemptively fired staff because they were worried about clients not coming in or not being able to get settlements or jury verdicts because courts were being closed. And I didn't hear anything from God telling me to slow down because of the pandemic. In fact, we actually sped things up. I got out of a lease, which required me to spend a lot of money to break it. I expanded to a new office building. I've hired additional people. I've allowed my staff to work from home and not haven't cut their hours or cut their pay. And God has blessed me. I've actually resolved, I had probably the best quarter of my legal career, the third quarter of the year, which was the pandemic quarter, I believe. Well, if I may be wrong, but around March, April, May, June, July, those were great months for my firm. If I would have listened to what the media was saying, what some of my colleagues were saying about slowing down and not expanding during this time, I would not have been able to put myself in position to, one, fight for my clients and receive the blessings that God has had for me during this time. And I spent more money on marketing since the pandemic than I was before. So there's still opportunity out there, and I don't suggest anybody hit the brakes unless God's telling you to hit the brakes. I would say that you need to get it out as quickly as possible, and you also need to make sure to understand that just because God told you something doesn't mean He told everybody else it. There's a chance that maybe your family and your good friends may think you're crazy. What are you doing? But you need to, one, encourage yourself and make sure that you are speaking faith when others are sowing seeds of doubt. Because if you continually allow those seeds to take root in your head, it's going to stop you or slow you down from starting your business or whatever else it is out there that God has you to do. So the first thing I'd say is make sure that you understand that if God told you something, He told you. It's not everybody else's job to support the vision that God gave you, but it is your job to make that vision a reality in the world and get it out there as quickly as possible, because the only person or the people that you are harming by not getting that vision out is not only yourself, but all those other people that are going to be blessed by you following the will that God has set out there for you.